For 15 years, she'd quietly organized books and helped patrons with research. She never talked about her past, never mentioned where she'd learned her incredible analytical skills, until artificial intelligence found her classified documents and secret operations background. Welcome to AI Human Stories. Before we dive into this incredible tale of hidden expertise, career transformation, and how technology uncovered a master of information warfare hiding behind a library desk, tell me in the comments what city you're watching from today. And if you believe knowledge is power in all its forms, hit that subscribe button. Portland Public Library's Central Branch buzzed with the usual weekday activity. Students researching papers, retirees reading newspapers, families checking out children's books. Behind the reference desk sat someone who could find the answer to virtually any question. Dr. Catherine Kate Reeves, 52 years old, wire-rimmed glasses, cardigans that had seen better decades. She'd been the head research librarian for 15 years, and in that time she'd developed a reputation for being able to locate information that others couldn't find. Kate's like a human Google, patrons would joke, but better, because she actually understands what you're really asking. What made Kate exceptional wasn't just her knowledge of books and databases, it was her methodology. She approached research requests like puzzles that required multiple sources, cross-referencing, and careful verification. A student asking about World War II wouldn't just get books, they'd get primary sources, declassified documents, and context that put events in perspective. Kate had a gift for seeing patterns in information, connecting seemingly unrelated sources, and finding the one document that made everything else make sense. She could take a vague research request and drill down to exactly what someone needed, even when they couldn't articulate it themselves. But there were things about Kate that didn't quite add up for anyone paying attention. Her computer skills went way beyond typical library training. She could navigate obscure government databases, access academic archives that most people didn't know existed, and seemed to have contacts at universities and research institutions worldwide. More intriguingly, Kate had an unusual approach to information verification. She didn't just check sources, she analyzed them for bias, funding sources, potential conflicts of interest, and credibility markers that most librarians wouldn't think to examine. Where did you learn to evaluate information like that? A graduate student asked after Kate had identified subtle propaganda elements in what appeared to be a legitimate historical document. You pick things up, Kate said with a slight smile. Information literacy is more important than most people realize. Dr. Michael Torres was a journalism professor at Portland State who'd been using the library for his own research when he started noticing Kate's unusual expertise in areas that seemed far beyond typical library science. Kate could discuss intelligence collection methods, analyze the reliability of foreign news sources, and explain information warfare tactics with the precision of someone who'd studied or practiced these subjects professionally. Kate, your understanding of intelligence analysis is remarkable, Michael observed after she'd helped him evaluate the credibility of sources for an article about disinformation campaigns. I do a lot of reading, Kate replied, but Michael wasn't convinced. During their conversations, Kate would make casual references to classification levels, compartmentalized information, and operational security that suggested more than academic interest. Most telling was her approach to patron privacy. Kate was obsessive about protecting library records, ensuring patron anonymity, and maintaining confidentiality in ways that went beyond professional requirements. She treated information security like a matter of life and death. You guard patron privacy like state secrets, Michael joked one day. Kate's expression shifted slightly. All information is sensitive to someone. Better to err on the side of caution. The breakthrough came when Michael was researching a story about data breaches at government agencies. Kate helped him navigate classification systems, understand redaction patterns, and interpret heavily censored documents with expertise that seemed impossibly detailed. Kate, where exactly did you learn about government classification systems? Michael asked directly. Kate was quiet for a moment. Previous career, before library science. What kind of previous career requires that level of knowledge about classified information handling? The kind you don't talk about at library conferences, Kate said with a finality that ended the conversation. Portland State's Information Security Department had developed an AI system to analyze research patterns and identify potential security risks in academic databases. The program was designed to spot suspicious information gathering that might indicate espionage or data theft. Professor Torres had access to the system through his cybersecurity research. Curious about Kate's unusual expertise, he decided to analyze her research patterns from publicly available library database logs. What the AI found was extraordinary. Kate's search patterns showed characteristics associated with professional intelligence analysis. Her methodology for cross-referencing sources, her approach to information verification, and her database access patterns matched profiles used by trained intelligence professionals. The AI identified specific techniques in Kate's research that were consistent with intelligence collection training: systematic source evaluation, pattern recognition across disparate datasets, and information correlation methods taught in classified programs. But here's what really caught the AI's attention. Kate's digital footprint showed traces of access to databases and archives that required high-level security clearances to reach. The system flagged Kate's profile as consistent with someone who had received advanced training in intelligence analysis, information warfare, and classified research methodologies. Professor Torres ran the analysis 3 times to confirm the results. Every iteration suggested the same conclusion: the quiet librarian was a former intelligence professional with training at the highest levels of government information analysis. If his suspicions were correct, this wasn't just about career history. It was about someone who'd worked in the most sensitive areas of national security. "Kate, I need to show you something," he said. Arriving at the reference desk with his laptop during a quiet moment, he showed her the AI analysis results, the pattern recognition findings, the database access patterns, the methodology signatures that matched intelligence training protocols. Kate looked at the screen for a long time without speaking. "How accurate is this AI system?" she asked finally. "Very accurate. It's designed to identify security risks by analyzing information-gathering patterns." Kate nodded slowly. "And what does it say I am?" "Someone with advanced training in intelligence analysis, government-level training." Kate was quiet for several minutes, absently straightening books on her desk, a nervous habit Michael had never noticed before. "Dr. Catherine Reeves, CIA Directorate of Analysis," Kate said quietly. 15 years, specialized in information warfare, disinformation campaigns, and intelligence evaluation. Retired in 2008. Michael felt his breath catch. The CIA. Kate had been a spy. "Not a spy," Kate said, reading his expression. "An analyst. The people who figure out what the information means after the spies collect it." "Why did you leave?" Kate's expression grew distant. "Because I got tired of information being used as a weapon. I wanted to help people find truth, not hide it." Kate's story emerged over several conversations. She'd been recruited by the CIA straight out of her PhD program in international relations, initially drawn by the opportunity to use her research skills for national security. "I was good at it," Kate explained. "Really good. I could take fragments of information from dozens of sources and piece together what was really happening in places we couldn't directly observe. But the work had taken a psychological toll. Kate spent years analyzing disinformation campaigns, propaganda operations, and information warfare tactics. She'd watched how information could be weaponized, how truth could be buried under layers of deliberate confusion. The breaking point came during a disinformation campaign analysis. Kate continued. "I spent months tracking how false information was being planted and amplified, not by enemies, by us. We were lying to our own people to justify policies that couldn't be defended with facts." Kate had requested a transfer to less sensitive work, but found that the culture of secrecy and information control permeated everything the agency did. "I realized I didn't want to control information anymore. I wanted to democratize it, help people find truth instead of hiding it from them." Leaving the CIA meant giving up a prestigious career, substantial salary, and the intellectual excitement of working on national security issues. But Kate had found something more valuable: the ability to use her skills to help people instead of governments. "Every research request I help with is a small victory for information access," Kate reflected. "Every time I help someone find the truth about something, I'm pushing back against the idea that information should be controlled by elites." Acts 6. The Revelation. Word of Kate's background spread quietly through the Portland academic community, not as gossip but as recognition of someone whose expertise had been serving the public in unexpected ways. Faculty members who'd worked with Kate on research projects began understanding why her analysis had been so sophisticated, why her source evaluation was so thorough, why she seemed to understand information warfare tactics better than professors who taught the subject. "Kate's been teaching all of us without realizing it," Professor Torres noted. Every interaction with her has been a masterclass in information analysis. Kate's revelation changed how people approached research at the library. Knowing they had access to someone with professional intelligence training made faculty and students more thoughtful about their methodology. But Kate remained focused on her core mission, making information accessible and helping people develop the skills to evaluate what they found. Intelligence analysis and research assistance are the same skill set, Kate explained to a group of journalism students. You gather information from multiple sources, evaluate credibility, identify bias, and synthesize conclusions. The only difference is who benefits from the results. The university offered Kate opportunities to lecture, consult on information security projects, and develop curricula for intelligence studies programs. She declined most of them. I'm not interested in training the next generation of intelligence analysts, Kate said. I'm interested in training the next generation of informed citizens. Kate's approach to library work evolved after her background became known. She developed programs specifically designed to teach information literacy skills that were informed by her intelligence training. The critical information evaluation workshops she created became wildly popular. Kate taught students and faculty how to identify disinformation, evaluate source credibility, and recognize propaganda techniques, using methods she'd learned during her CIA years. Disinformation isn't just a national security issue, Kate explained to her workshops. It's an everyday challenge. Every time you read news, research a topic, or try to understand a complex issue, you're doing intelligence analysis. You just might not realize it. Kate's programs helped people understand how information warfare worked, not to participate in it, but to defend against it. She taught research methods that prioritized truth over confirmation bias, verification over speed. The workshops attracted participants from across the Pacific Northwest. Teachers learning how to help students evaluate online sources, journalists improving their fact-checking methodologies, citizens who wanted to be more informed voters and consumers. Democracy requires an informed citizenry, Kate told her audiences, but information alone isn't enough. You need the skills to evaluate what's reliable and what's manipulation. Kate's work represented something unique. Intelligence techniques being used to strengthen democracy rather than serve government interests. ACT 8, The Legacy. Today, Portland Public Library's information literacy program is considered one of the most sophisticated in the country. Kate's methodology has been adopted by libraries nationwide, helping millions of people develop better research and analysis skills. The AI system that discovered Kate's background has been refined and implemented by security agencies and academic institutions. Her case showed that artificial intelligence could identify expertise wherever it exists, not just in obvious places. Kate's story changed how we think about career transitions, noted a workforce development specialist. People carry their skills with them even when they change fields completely. The question is how to recognize and utilize that expertise. Kate has written a book, Democracy in the Information Age, a former analyst's guide to finding truth. It's used in journalism schools, civic education programs, and information literacy courses worldwide. But the work that matters most to Kate still happens at the reference desk, where she helps individuals navigate the increasingly complex information landscape of the modern world. That's more valuable than any classified briefing I ever prepared. Act 9, The Full Circle. Kate's influence extends far beyond Portland. The information literacy methods she developed are now taught in schools, used by fact-checking organizations, and implemented by social media platforms trying to combat disinformation. Her approach represents a fundamental shift, using intelligence analysis techniques to empower citizens rather than control information. Kate took skills designed for national security and adapted them for democratic participation. The same methods we use to identify enemy propaganda can help citizens identify all propaganda, Kate explains to policymakers studying disinformation countermeasures. The difference is who controls the process. Kate still maintains some connections to the intelligence community, but as an educator and critic rather than a participant. She consults on how to make government information more accessible while maintaining necessary security. Secrecy is sometimes necessary, Kate acknowledges, but the default should be transparency. Too often we classify information to avoid embarrassment rather than protect security. The artificial intelligence that uncovered Kate's secret had been designed to identify security risks, But it discovered something more important: how expertise developed in one context can serve entirely different purposes when applied with different values. Catherine Reeves spent 15 years helping the government control information. She spent 15 more years helping citizens access it. Both roles required the same skills: analysis, verification, synthesis, and pattern recognition. But the second career has been more fulfilling because it serves truth rather than power. Closing. The CIA analyst who became a librarian represents something important about information, democracy, and the purpose of expertise. Kate's story shows us that artificial intelligence isn't just about identifying threats or solving technical problems. Sometimes it's about recognizing how valuable skills can be repurposed to serve different masters, how expertise developed in secret can illuminate truth in public. And sometimes the most important intelligence work isn't about gathering secrets. It's about helping people understand the information they already have access to, teaching them to distinguish between truth and manipulation, and empowering them to make informed decisions. Because in a democracy, every citizen is an analyst, and the quality of their analysis determines the quality of their choices. Call to action. So here's what I want to know. Have you ever discovered that someone you knew had expertise from a completely different field that informed their current work? Someone who brought unexpected skills to an ordinary job? Share their stories in the comments below. Tell us about the teachers, helpers, and professionals who surprise you with the depth of their knowledge and experience. And if this story resonated with you, subscribe to AI Human Stories, because in a world where artificial intelligence can spot patterns in how people work and think, the most important discoveries aren't about technology. They're about recognizing that expertise takes many forms, that valuable skills can serve different purposes, and that sometimes the best use of specialized knowledge is to share it as widely as possible. Until next time, remember, information is only as powerful as the people who know how to use it, and the best experts are the ones who teach others to think for themselves.